Well, yes, it really is only 10 minutes after 6 in the morning. Now, I just watched my rollback, and the reason I only watched the rollback now, in other words, what I shot yesterday afternoon and evening, is because my laptop is doing the processing, and it is so slow that I didn't want to wait up to watch it last night. So I just clicked in the little square where it says shut computer down after it's processed. Anyway, and it did. That's what I've been doing lately, a lot. Now, when I watched it, I came to the conclusion that in my pursuit to be able to video everything and have fun, I often end up just making myself look like an old fool. And so I'm kind of torn between, how's it saying, a rock and a hard place? Or anyway, do I not video it and not have fun, but end up with a model that, you know, I had a lot less problems building, or do I video everything and end up looking like an old fool? Well, I wanna have fun, so I guess I'm just gonna have to look like an old fool. Anyway, let's roll back, and you'll see how we got to this place here. You know, it's really amazing what I see when I view my own video on YouTube later, and especially the shots that I take with the macro lens. You see absolutely every little flaw. For instance, I had not noticed that this little nub thing here that I'm grabbing hold of right now, or trying to, is you know, it still needs to be sanded down or filed down, but even the way I'm looking at it right now with my strong glasses on, I can't see that. But when you zoom right in, anyway, you know what I'm getting at here. Every little piece of flashing that you missed is visible, and okay, I beat that to death, haven't I? Now, I have concluded, however, that if I was to hold this with flat tweezers like this and put a gentle but steady squeeze, and then apply some extra thin. At first I was thinking put the extra thin from the end, but then that's not where you want it to dissolve. You want it to be dissolving, you know, on the inside of the bracket, not on the outside. So now it's probably going to be really, really hard to only get it and where you want it, because it's going to wick all over the place. And also, I want to be careful I don't put on too much, because because I want it to start evaporating before the entire part turns into sprue goo, which is what will happen with the extra thin. So I'm thinking if I could maybe, I think maybe the safest way might be to hold the tweezers in my fingers like I'm doing right now, and then as soon as I see that the part has come together, then I can release. For a while there, I was thinking, why not wrap a rubber band around it so it always keeps a steady pressure. But then I realized afterwards that if the sprue goo kind of gets out of hand, I mean the extra thin gets out of hand and it starts turning into sprue goo, I'm going to end up having it, squish out of shape. So I'm just going to hold it by hand here. I'll put the macro lens on so we can watch, and see if there's a way that I can apply just maybe with a. See, the problem is with using a toothpick is that the the extra thin will absorb into the wood. So I wonder maybe a little paintbrush. I better use one that I don't care if the extra thin melts it. Okay, let's recompose here and see if we can do something. Okay, I think if I rest my tweezer on Andy's photo etch bender like this, I should be able to very, very gently just come in and make a steady pressure like that. The brush I'm using here is one that I don't care about. Maybe that's too much. You notice the bristles kind of splay out on it, and it's useless for painting, so okay, I'm just giving it a steady pressure there. Oh, maybe that's too much. I think I bent the photo etch. Get another grab a little closer up. Is it going or isn't it? This may not be a good idea. It looks like this one is going. I wonder, did the other one maybe come out of the hole? No, it's still there. Oh, the one of them went, but the other one just doesn't want to go. I'm going to have to take it off camera here and look at it. Okay, it went. Now will it stay? I'm going to have to give our photo etch a little bit of a bend, probably at one of these joints here. And I'm probably going to have to do that off camera. But at least we know that the extra thin idea will sort of work. Yeah. Either that, or else maybe on the next one I could just try very gently paring it down just a little bit with a hobby knife. Okay, what I did was I picked it up and I worked at it with my fingers a little bit, and I would think that at arm's length it's going to look okay. In fact, I know it will. I don't know if I should do anything about this or not. I think I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. Okay, now the next thing we got to try and do here is mount it, and I haven't tried it yet, but it has to go on this square base. So this hole has to go over top of this peg, and it looks to me like it will. It looks quite a bit larger than it needs to be. Let's see if I can grab hold of it a little different. I'm going to take it off camera here. Sorry about that. I just had to get a different grasp on it here. And then I would imagine we will be using CA for that. Yeah, it fits. It fits. So we're going to have to use CA glue because extra thin will not stick to photo etch at all. Remember, we did a test way back when we were building the Bismarck. Okay, let's recompose here. Okay, as you could see from the snapshots, I'm about as ready as I can get here. This is CA thin, by the way. Now if that doesn't cure, let me move this out of the way. Whoops. A little part. I moved it. Okay. I think everything's still in focus there. Now can I let go? But tweezer doesn't want to come out. Maybe I'm holding on the wrong place. Excuse my fingers here. I'm trying to get the base so that it's square. Oh. There must be a better way to do this. Okay. That's pretty good. It's not... Oh. Poke at it. Sure, poke at it, Ron. There. That's pretty good. Now, if it'll just cure like that... it's slumping. It's slumping. You see, part of the problem is, let me look at the monitor. Yeah, you can see it in the monitor too, that the base is kind of rounded on the bottom instead of flat. I mean the base of the photo etch part. And consequently, it's sort of rocking on there, but I do believe it's going to be believable if it can just cure like that. Let's just give it a few minutes. Alright, now if I rotate this very, very carefully here, it should stay more or less in the center. Yeah, because it's very precariously situated. I think I'm going to be doing the second one a little bit differently, especially the way I bend the photo etch. Whether I'll be, doing it on camera or not, I don't know. But, it's getting pretty late here. Right now it's about 12 minutes to 9 this evening. And I think I'm going to call it a night. So, all being well, we'll be seeing you in the morning. It is morning. And if you consider what I was saying there about, making myself look like an old fool, it kind of begs the question, well, why video it then? Well, those of you who are maybe new to my channel may not have heard me say this before, but what I like to do is combine hobbies. And photography has been a hobby for many, many years, ever since I was a teenager. And so if I can combine photography and model making, or photography and woodworking, I do. But quite often, in order to video, I have to try and hold something at an awkward angle, and it doesn't always work out. And I don't like to do retakes, so consequently, anyway, I think you know where I'm going with this. However, we got a comment from one of the viewers, and he was saying that he drilled these out, and I'm going to try that. We've got lots of little drill bits here. I'm sure we've got. I'm just guessing. I'm just sort of eyeballing it, but I'm thinking that possibly this third one from the smallest might be the right one here. I haven't measured it yet. I suppose what I could do is I could measure well, that's not the thing. It's this little pin right here. Now, maybe I should just test and see it. It's possible on this one it will fit. See if I can get the angle just right here. No, it doesn't. It doesn't appear that it's gonna want to go. So I'm just gonna, just for the fun of it, and I'm going to use the Tamiya drill here because it turns nice and slow. So yeah, let's just recompose here. Okay, I did measure this little pin here, and it came out to approximately 25 thousandths of an inch. And so I've selected a bit here that is 30 thousandths, which turns out to be the fifth one from the smallest. Okay, now what I'm going to want to do is, when I put the macro lens on, I want to be able to keep this right in the center of everything. So maybe I'll just take and make a little mark here. And let's get our macro lens on and see if we can make a hole. Oh! Well, I should have known that was going to happen. I should have known. All right, let's see if I can straighten that. What a mess. Well, wish I could do a retake on that. And of course, you know me, I'm going to show this. Okay. Okay, Brian, if you're watching, this was not your fault for recommending this or suggesting this. It was my fault. I wasn't holding on to the end here properly. So what I did was I used tweezers and the Tamiya photo etch plier and sort of flattened it out. And I do believe that once we get it bent into shape and everything, and it's painted, I don't think anybody's going to notice. I mean, this thing is so incredibly small. Oh, by the way, this is that little paintbrush that I used yesterday, or rather in the rollback, I guess it was, for the extra thin, and I was kind of worried that it might dissolve the bristles, but as you can see, it didn't. But also, as you can see, why this makes a very poor paintbrush. It just, it's all splayed out. I don't know how that happened. I think it was like that when I bought it. I should have examined it before I bought it. Anyway, yeah, I think we can probably salvage this thing here. It's kind of, I'm just trying to straighten it just a little bit more here, but I'm probably making it worse. I better quit while I'm ahead here. Or maybe I should say, maybe I should quit while I'm not too far behind. So now what are we going to do? Well, I think that maybe what we'll do is I will try to maybe pare these down. Either that or go back to the way we did it in the rollback. Okay, here's another thought. Now, we know that we can bend this photo etch metal without it breaking. But would we be able to force this needle, down through the hole and enlarge it? I should almost be doing this through the microscope. I've got to be careful not to press too hard, or it'll just all of a sudden go. Now, am I enlarging that hole? I kind of think I probably am. But are we enlarging it enough? Where's the other part here? Just let me reposition here a little bit. It almost goes. It almost goes. Well, let's try it a little bit more here. See, I'm scared to press down really hard because okay, did we enlarge it? I think we enlarged it a little bit more. At least we rounded it out better. Guess I'm getting my fingers down in your vision there and blocking it. Now I do have, somebody also recommended a round file, and I do have one, except that it's not small enough to, get in the hole. So, well, let's try it now. Got to be a better way to do this. You know, it's too bad that the Trumpeter didn't make these photo etch pieces the right size to start with. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, I'm just going to carefully enlarge the other holes using the same method. And now I wonder, can we bend this? I'm probably driving everybody crazy here. Okay, I think that possibly at arm's length it's going to look okay. It's not 100%, of course, but then neither is the first one we did. I don't know if I should try and straighten it anymore or just just glue it onto our base here. Oh, and I was wondering if I was noticing in the first one we did that when I had it laying on its side, like that, now I don't know if I'd want to be doing it on the green cloth here, but if we got everything straightened out and just sort of held it together and then put a little bit of CA glue right on the joint and just let it sort of wick its way in, I think I'm going to try that. Okay, what I did was I ended up holding the two pieces in my fingers, like the base in one hand and this part in the other. I applied a little bit of glue to the bottom of the photo etch, and then I held them together. And then once it cured, then I reinforced it. Now, you can see that it's, the reinforcing has made it look a little bit all right. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do the remaining two now. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get it done. This has dragged on long enough. Okay, I used the needle method and enlarged the holes. And for the most part, it went pretty good. But we're not done yet. Now, I would think that the time to bend our little handle here for the crank is now, not after it's mounted on the searchlight. And I'm just gonna, maybe I'm living dangerously here, but I'm just gonna bend it up. It doesn't twist on me, that is. Just have to get it at right angles here. A little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Now, is the hole going to be too small and we're going to have this problem all over again? Okay, stop poking at it. Now, if I'm reading the manual correctly, and I think I am, the crank goes on this side here. This is going to be hard to put on. It does not appear that it wants to slip over. Okay, it's kind of jammed on there as near as I can tell. Undoubtedly you can see it better than I can. Let's see if I can turn it here a little bit here. Now, if I could just get a little bit of CA right on the end there and let it wick its way around. Where's my CA now? Okay, just a little bit, Ron, just a little bit. Okay, I'll let that cure. Okay, you know what? I'm going to cut today's episode off. We'll check this out in tomorrow's episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.